Hey there, it's Colleen Flanagan, Mind, Body, Wisdom Expert Master Dowser and author of this bestseller on Amazon, Fearless, Accurate Dowsing. Today, let's talk about fascia, which is the connective tissue that's all over our bodies, like holding us together. Now, when you think about that in Mind, Body, Wisdom, have you ever had times in your life where I just feel like I can't hold it together? I can't get it together, I can't hold it together. Like if you're at work and you're overwhelmed, more and more stuff is coming and I can't hold it together. I can't keep it together. I can't keep track of all this stuff. That could affect your fascia. If you've repressed those emotions, and we all do, and we've all had times in our life, I don't care what age you are, even kids, when you're overwhelmed with your schoolwork, or maybe bullies at school and such, or just too much going on in your life. You feel, I just can't keep it all together here. Or as we used to say back in the 60s, can't keep your crap all in one bag. There's bags everywhere. This can affect your fascia. And one of the reasons for this is, of course, because when we repress emotions, those emotions end up being stored somewhere in our body. And our energy is so brilliant, so intelligent, that it knows it'll store the energy of fear. I can't keep it together. Oh my God, what if I get fired? What if I get laid off? What if I get suspended from school? What if this affects my marriage or my relationships and things like that? Your body will store emotions in the places where you have the fear most evident as clues to what you need to release. At least that's the way I look at it, okay? And that's how I've helped myself and people and animals around the world to release their fears. Now, I just want to quickly read a little bit about what can happen when our fascia is like jammed up. When we're stressed out and uptight, another old 60s word, when we're uptight, our fascia can contract. And that means it can affect your posture. I've seen that in myself so many times. Your hips, your legs, anytime, if you think about this connective tissue, if it's sort of constricted instead of loose and relaxed, then it could jam up all kinds of parts of your body. And some of the things that it can affect are, of course, the restriction and tightness, and especially when the fascia gets dehydrated, or it becomes, like they say, matted down. It loses its elasticity, and that can limit your movement and cause pain. Of course, when you get to be my age, I suppose that's very common. And stretching is good for the fascia, but sometimes you need a little bit more, like some emotional release work, which we will do later in this video. A tight fascia can also lead to referrals and connections of pain. Meaning, since it's connective tissue, you might have some pain in your neck and shoulders and back and a tightness and stuff, but that can just go up into a headache. It can go back down into inability to be flexible, which is another emotional thing too, right? There's so many things that the fascia, because it's all connected and keeping us together in our human form. So many things it can affect. That's why it's important to keep it clear and safe. Now, of course, you know how I am. I went and I dowsed on my fascia to see, thinking to myself, of course, I don't have any issues. I've been doing emotional release work on myself for decades now. And what happened? It was all over the place. I had so many fear-based emotions stuck in my fascia, especially around the areas that I have issues with at times, like my back, my shoulders, my chest, being able to take a deep breath, my thyroid, all these different things. So what I'd like you to do right now is just think to yourself, what are some areas in my body that aren't working as well as they could? And it could be because the fascia in that area, like holding that organ in place, or those muscles, those bones, those tissues, it's got jammed up with some non-beneficial emotions. We're going to do a general clearing and then a specific clearing. So write down everything you can think of, anything that comes to mind, okay? So you do not have to dowse in order to know what to clear. If your body's not telling you through tightness or pain or any kind of anxiety or anything like that, you can do these clearings without dowsing or without even knowing if your fascia is being affected by the fears and fear-based emotions. Do the clearings anyway, and it's not going to hurt a thing, okay? If anything, you'll probably find you're going to be more energized, as I did. So I'm just going to do some muscle testing right now, and as I've explained before, muscle testing is a form of dowsing. When I muscle test, I ask a question, and then I just allow my hands to come together, and this is a no answer when my fingers go to my palms, and this is a yes answer when my fingers touch the other fingers, and I programmed that in years ago. You can do muscle testing, you can use a pendulum, dowsing rods, whatever you want. The important thing is to allow the flow of the energy of your body just to continue on. Because when the fascia is tight, the flow is not as well, and that can limit not only your mobility, but also your ability to go with the flow psychologically, mentally, spiritually, and also it can cause a lack of energy, necessary energy to get into the organs, the cells, the atoms, the molecules that promote your beautiful health and well-being. So, I'm just going to check now. By the way, all this information on muscle testing and dowsing is in that book. So here's a little free mini chapter right here. Body, mind, emotions, energy, and dowsing source. Yes, I got your attention. Good. Do you know what fascia is in the human body? Because we just read about it, looked it up. Dowsing source, is this my fascia at this time? Is it in my human body holding on to some kind of non-beneficial emotions? Well, I expect it's the same for all of us, right? No matter how much work you've done on yourself, I bet even the Dalai Lama, maybe even the Pope, spiritual guys, their fascia's all jammed up too. And I also believe that your fascia could be jammed up even from stuff back from your childhood. Maybe even when you were being yanked out of your mom and smacked on the butt so you'd start breathing by the doctor. Ah, what kind of world did I come into? I still wonder that at times. So let's get cracking here. We're going to do an emotional release for our fascia, the entire fascia of the body. Now, you can do this, but you may find later that some specific areas where you've had some issues, presently or in the past, are still jammed up with some emotions. General releases work, but they don't work as well as working on the specific stuff, which is why I love dowsing, because then I can find it and get rid of it. So we're just going to do some meridian clearing right now like this. You see me do this. If you have any issues with your shoulders and this is painful for you, to clear the governing vessel meridian like this, you can tap on the governing vessel meridian endpoints under your nose while you talk about releasing all the non-beneficial emotions from your fascia. And of course you could spin a pendulum if you want as well, or your hand to the left to clear and to the right to instill affirmations. So let's get started. Pick your favorite modality and let's clear out the fascia. I now release from all the fascia in my body, which is quite a bit, all this connective tissue, all my fears from all the times I didn't feel safe. I couldn't keep it all together like the fascia is doing, and that's why those emotions, those fearful emotions, got trapped in the fascia. Maybe I couldn't think of it mentally. Couldn't keep it all together mentally because you got so much going on, you just can't focus. I cleared that out of the fascia in my back, my neck, my shoulders, my head. Especially if you're someone who has headaches, maybe your fascia is so tight that's causing part of it or all of it. Give this a shot. I release my fears that the bad times are never going to end. From now, whatever it's about, about your family, your work, politics, sports, whatever you want to call it. I release my fears trapped in my fascia that the bad times are never going to end. Even going back to my childhood, all the difficult classes we had, right? Like algebra. I had to take algebra 1 and 2. Have I ever used algebra outside of grade school or high school? Heck no. But it was scary trying to get through it because I found it very difficult. I just clear my fascia now from when I was inside my mom, just growing, and then when I was born. Maybe the doctor had to pull. Maybe that stretch of my fascia or just stressed it out. And all the times in my childhood and teen years when I didn't feel safe or I felt like the bad times will never end. Maybe something was going on with the family, with the parents. Just clear all that out of the fascia now. All the burdens you carried on your back, even since childhood. Maybe you had to be the parent and you were just a kid. And you had to parent your parents or one parent. Let's just clear that from the fascia of the back. The fear that the bad times will never end. The fear of failure to be a parent to your parent. Or maybe later in life when your parents get older and you have to sort of parent them. Just let the thoughts come. If you need to write something down so you don't forget it later on, please do. I release all my fears in the fascia around my face from all the terrible things I had to face in my life. Maybe some of this fascia is pulling it down, giving me those little marionette lines and these little lines here and stuff. Just let that go. Relax my face. Whoa. Well, that was more powerful than I expected. I let go from my fascia, from my chest and my heart and my gut and my torso, in the front and the back and the sides. Let go of all non-beneficial emotions that are keeping the fascia tight or not connected well enough or that are affecting the fascia in any way, non-beneficial. We're also clearing now from our hips and spine and back and shoulders, where we don't feel that flexible. Clearing the fascia from all fears of failure. Carrying all these responsibilities on our backs, even children do, and teenagers and adults. Just letting all that go out of the fascia, clearing the fascia. Fears of being rejected and abandoned, maybe holding that in our chest and our heart when we found out someone was going to leave our relationship in any way. Also clearing out now from all the fascia in the right leg, from the right hip all the way down to the toes on the right foot, clearing out all the fears of failure, rejection, abandonment, that with success comes consequences while we walk our paths, because the right side of the body usually gives us messages about work, about school, about income, finances, all the logical stuff, right? Clearing from that entire area all the fascia, the fears, the doubts, the mistrust when walking our path and just feeling uptight. Now we're clearing the left side. The left side generally delivers messages to us about how we have circumstances that we need to correct in love, in what we love to do for a living, the people we love, family, friends, anything you love, animal friends, of course. Clearing from the left side. All these fears of walking our life path in love and relationships and things we love to do now. Loosening up that fascia as we clear fears of failure, rejection, abandonment, not being safe, bad times never ending. Just letting it all go. And so it is. So take inventory now as you take a few nice deep breaths in and out. Is something sort of bothering you? You feel like, I still feel like something's going on. Like I'm feeling that at the bottom of my spine. So I'm just going to test really quickly. Do I have some fascia issues at the blockages or tightening or emotions causing tight fascia at the bottom of my spine? Yes. Okay. I'm just going to clear that out now. I release all the fascia tightness and issues and fear-based emotions causing the tight fascia at the bottom of my spine and the area that leads to my hips, all the muscles there and the connective tissue. Let's just cleanse that out now. So we feel not constricted, not restricted, especially, and that's the first chakra area, right? Which governs all the, like jobs and money and family and tribal issues. Just clear all of it out now. Allow it to go. Now I'm feeling like this draining going on. It feels so good. Oof, oof. Does my body, my human body, now have one or more fascia tightness, trapped emotions somewhere? Okay. The first thing I got is my neck. Is it my thyroid? The neck emotions. The neck is, of course, about communication. And I think we all have issues with people we just couldn't talk to about certain things because they get all defensive and upset and start yelling and confrontational. I'll be honest, with those types of people, just go your way and namaste away. Because I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. It could put more negative emotions in my own energy, which I don't want any part of. So I'm just going to clear now all this tightness in my fascia from all the times I couldn't speak my truth. The tightness in my neck. Even anything making me sort of push forward. And feeling like I'm carrying burdens in my neck of unspoken anger, rage, disgust, bitterness, hatred, shame, embarrassment. Just letting all that go now. Oh my God. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I'm just tingling all over. I hope you are too. So you see how it's done, right? All you got to do is think of a part of your body that might be a little tight, might not be working that well for you, even though you exercise and stretch and stuff, and just let the fascia. I'm blessing my fascia now with 100% effectiveness, functionality, well-being, wellness. All the fascia, every cell, atom, and molecule of it, this beautiful connective tissue that's helping me keep it together physically, and I'll keep it together mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and so it is. So you can instill positive affirmations and positive energies by doing the same governing vessel meridian stimulation like that to clear and to instill. And so it is, if you'd like to do that. So if you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. You're so special to me. You're a treasure. And I love that you're an open-minded person who enjoys my work and helping yourself and others. Let's spread the word around the world that people don't have to suffer with emotional distress, which leads to physical ailments when it's repressed. Take it from someone who was very sick and almost died several times from repressed emotions and stress. So that's today's video. Thank you so much. Namaste. Peace out. Get 10 free chapters of my Fearless Accurate Dowsing book on my website, emorescue.com. There's also links to all my Amazon books and other interesting information. Thank you.